What up, Bucs fans, NFL fans, and gambling fans? Welcome to Pewter Picks and Props, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers edition of the show. I'm your host, Matt Matera from PewterReport.com, and Pewter Picks and Props is brought to you by Splash Sports. Join over 2.5 million people playing Splash Sports, the home for Survivor, Pick'em, and Quick Picks. Whether you want to create your own contest with friends or take a shot at life-changing prize pools, Splash Sports has got you covered. Get the best matchup boost on Quick Picks for this Bucs game or any of the games over the weekend for the best multipliers in daily fantasy sports. You can turn $20 into $1,000 using Splash Sports, and you can download the app today using the QR code. It's a special Thursday night edition of Pewter Picks and Props because the Bucs are at home hosting the Atlanta Falcons, which is also a creamsicle game. And to be honest, who knows what is going to happen in this Bucs-Falcons game. It has been absolute torment, chaos, ridiculous, awful, mind-boggling football from the Bucs and from the Atlanta Falcons as well. So something's got to give. We're going to get into the game in just a moment. But first, like we do every single week, we'll take a look at my overall record, what happened last week as well. So, had a clean sweep in terms of the over-under and the spread. I took the Saints over the Bucs, plus 8.5. The over hit as well. So, 2-0 there, 15-10-1 on the season. Not ideal with the player props. The only one I hit was the under on Emeka Egbuka catches, but his catches and lack thereof also hurt because I would have had Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdown receptions until Egbuka dropped that. So lacking a little bit in Bucs player props, but winning everywhere else with prop bets and NFL game picks. Let's take a look at what's in store for this Thursday night primetime matchup. There's a lot of reasons not to pick the Bucs in this game. They're wearing the creamsicles. They usually lose in the creamsicles. They're playing in prime time. They usually lose in prime time. And they're playing a Falcons team where Kirk Cousins will be starting at quarterback with Michael Penix out for the rest of the year. And Kirk Cousins, while he sucks against everyone else, is absolute kryptonite to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He dismantled the Bucs last season. So that would give everybody good reason and good caution to maybe take the Atlanta Falcons. But I'm not doing it for a couple of reasons. One, this is the exact blueprint that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do. They start out the season hot. This year is 5-1. Then they lose several games in a row. They've lost 5 of 7, so right on pace for that. They have a stub your toe game where they lose to a team they have no business losing to, which was the New Orleans Saints. And when everybody thinks it's all done and Todd Bowles is out the door, that's when the Bucs put it together, usually rally 3, maybe 4 wins in a row. The winning streak starts on Thursday night. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -4, and that's also because there's going to be some hope and inspiration because returning back to the lineup is the greatest offensive player of all time in Bucs history, Mike Evans, number 13, and also making his season debut is Jalen McMillan, now wears number 11. He's 15 in that picture. McMillan, remember, got injured in the preseason week 2, got flipped backwards in that game against the Steelers, ended up landing on his neck and fractured some vertebrae. But he's going to play in this game, and even if they're on a limited pitch count, that's got to bring some hope, inspiration, and really fire up the group. Also have to remember, and we'll see if he ends up playing in this game or not, but JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, is back with the Bucs as well. If anything, he'll strike some fear into the other edge rushers that the Bucs have when they go after Kirk Cousins. So good to see JPP back with the Bucs, even though I don't know what he has left remaining. Could provide some much needed a kick in the pants, if you will, for the Bucs on defense. And having Mike and Jalen will do wonders for this offense. That certainly needs a ton of help. So going to take the Bucs -4 and the over 44.5 because the Bucs are getting a little bit better offensively with Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan returning. And this Bucs defense has still been so awful. I don't really see, even with the injuries to the Falcons, no Drake London in this game. We know the mistakes that Todd Bowles makes and this defense makes. Looks like no Tyke Smith in this game either. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 500 yards, but this is a guy that threw for 500 yards last season, 4 touchdowns in each game as well. Could be an absolute massacre of a game or disastrous. And I see a lot of points happening because points tend to score more at Raymond James Stadium than other stadiums. And because it's a Thursday night game, and this is the only game of this Thursday night, I'm going heavy with the Bucs player props. Got a couple at each position, quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. So we'll start it off with the quarterbacks going Baker Mayfield under 217 and a half passing yards. It's been several games in a row since Baker Mayfield has thrown for over 200 passing yards. Why is that streak going to end? I don't necessarily know why. Yes, you have more receiving targets with Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan, but if they are going to be on a pitch count, is it enough to get Baker over 200-plus yards, especially if they want to run the football as well? So got to go with the continuous streak of Baker Mayfield. Several games now not throwing for over 200. So 217 is a bit steep for my liking, but hopefully Baker can get back on track. Next, Kirk Cousins, Kirko Chains, over 200 and a half passing yards. This has everything to do with him destroying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2 games last season. And the Bucs make all quarterbacks look like one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. So if that trend continues, this should be probably the best bet of the entire night if you want to win money. Bucs fans wouldn't like it. At running back, Rachaad White, over 16 and a half rushing yards. We have to remember, Rachaad White is the guy that is in the game on third down and a lot of shotgun and passing situations. They will run a running back draw. They will give him a couple of handoffs, even with Bucky Irving back. And I think we learned last week as well that Bucky Irving can't be a guy that's in the game for the entirety of it. And when the Bucs go pony packets, it's not Sean Tucker that's in. It's Bucky and Rachaad White. So a low number coming off of a good game for Rachaad White, that lower number of 16 and a half, I really like that one. Bijan Robinson over 76 and a half rushing yards in this one. I think Bijan Robinson's going to have an insane game, both rushing and receiving. No Servassier Dennis. Levante David has slowed down a lot. It will be Deion Jones in the game, probably Nick Jackson in as well. There's a reason Bijan's one of the best running backs in the league. I think he's going to run a rough shot on the Bucs, who has some tackling issues and couldn't slow down the Saints on Sunday either. And then also, Kirk Cousins over a half a rushing yard. He doesn't run that much, but how many times have we seen with the Bucs, with any quarterback, any team they're going against, they have the quarterback dead to rights. They're going to take him down, and then they miss, and it's a slip and slide, and players are colliding all over the place, and that quarterback, no matter how fast or how slow, gets out of the way and scrambles for a couple of rushing yards. We saw it with Tyler Shuck. That led to the second touchdown for him in the game. That can happen with Kirk Cousins. There's going to be a comedy of errors by the Bucs defense. They're going to have Kirk Cousins done. He's going to slip through and run for a first down probably. So it's a half a yard. He needs 1 rushing yard to get it, and I think he will. Like I said, this is a gigantic player prop sheet for Pewter Picks and Props this week because it is Bucs Falcons Thursday Night Football. So moving over next, a couple on Emeka Egbuka. I have Egbuka over 45 and a half receiving yards and over 3.5 catches as well. There's no way to deny it was a rough game for Emeka Egbuka on Sunday against the Saints. Had that costly drop in the end zone that would have tied the game up. He was beating himself up over it. He was really upset with how he played and what his performance was like. But the addition of Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan and having Chris Godwin Jr. a little bit more, that's only going to help him, and that's only going to boost his confidence. Remember when Mike Evans was here the first couple games of the season? Who had the 2 touchdowns in the season opener? It was Emeka Egbuka. Having Mike Evans back will open things up for Emeka Egbuka. He wants to right his wrongs as well. I think he's due for a big game on Thursday night against Atlanta. So over in his receiving yards and his catches as well. Bijan Robinson over 37.5 receiving yards. Get him out in space. We've seen how running backs have conquered the Bucs in the passing game. And again, not having Sebastian Dennis, leaning on backups. Not that Dennis has been great this year, but backups like Deion Jones and some of the undrafted rookie free agents. It's going to be a field day for Bijan Robinson. And then 2 more to go. Mike Evans, I'm going under 20.5 on his longest reception of the game. So love that Mike is back. I think he's going to provide a ton for this team. Obviously, defenses put a lot of focus on him. But if Mike is going to be on a pitch count, like I believe he's going to be on a pitch count, that means he's probably going to be in more when the Bucs are in the red zone. And if he's in the red zone, that means they're at the 20-yard line. He can't go any more than 20 yards. I don't think Mike's going to go crazy down the field as well because that's how he broke his collarbone on that play. And, he's a little bit older as well, and they want to get his feet wet and get a rhythm with him going. So I see a good game from Mike. I don't want to go too far into the well with Mike just because it's his first game back since week 7 on Monday Night Football. They can pepper him a ton, but if he's not going for over 20 yards, this bet will hit. So under 20.5 yards on the longest reception for Mike Evans. And then Antoine Winfield Jr., over 6.5 combined tackles. We have to remember no Tyke Smith in this game. And while Christian Izien is a very suitable backup, Winfield, they're going to need him more than ever in this must-win game. And then I have a Pewter Parlay separate from all the individual Bucs player props. You put these 3 together, it's a payout of plus 525, and it's touchdowns galore. Going Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdown passes. He's had too many games in a row with just 1 touchdown pass. If he does not get more than 1 touchdown pass in this game, I am not betting on the over of Baker Mayfield touchdown passes for the rest of the season. It's now or never with this prop. And then a couple of anytime touchdowns. Mike Evans, anytime touchdown. It's his welcome back to Raymond James Stadium. If he is going to play in the red zone, that's where he's going to be targeted, is in the end zone. And Emeka Egbuka making up for some mistakes last week. He will find the end zone as well. And hopefully this helps with a Bucs win. It's a huge matchup for the Bucs. They have to stay tied with the Carolina Panthers by winning this game on Thursday night. I'll have my picks for the Sunday NFL games coming out later in the week, but this is just one focused on the Bucs and their home game, the Creamsicle game against the Atlanta Falcons. Just a reminder one more time to get your quick picks in over on Splash Sports, the best multipliers in daily fantasy sports. Win a ton of money over on Splash Sports, and you can download the app with the QR code on the screen. And if you're not already doing so, please make sure you're following me on my social media at Matty4_Matera. You can also follow Pewter Report on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We're at Pewter Report. And our YouTube channel is Pewter Report TV. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment on this video. What prop bets you like, what you don't like. Maybe there's one I didn't pick that you're a huge fan of. Let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll end up tailing that pick. But that's going to do it for this show. Appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Have fun watching Bucs versus Falcons on Thursday Night Football in prime time. The Creamsicle game, must-win game for the Bucs. So let's win some money. Out.